I had thought on it in all the time Henry had been in the underground. He hadn't taken the time to see T yet. He seemed to be avoiding her for the time being. Perhaps he didn't want anyone thinking things of him that weren't true, or perhaps he was slightly embarrassed of it all. I looked to our children sleep and safe now from all harm. Sam in bed with our littlest foal, Lyra in her crib, she was growing so fast. I went over to the table to see Sam's drawings he had been working on. They were beautiful works of art. He never asked for anything special to do it, just a pencil and paper. I showed them to Firefly and Colt, as well as Abira. The pictures were strange somehow, but I couldn't figure out how, nor could they. Firefly smiled. "You know I have some watercolors the boy may enjoy." Colt smiled. "Perhaps a pocket knife and pencils I can arrange." I looked to Sam. He had been so good in his room underground, but now back in the herd, he was more trapped up top in some ways, and I couldn't tell anyone of it. We fell asleep feeling better about the things of the past, as well as the future Firefly, and I in those weeks had found peace in our friendship and forgiveness once more. How could I stay truly mad? She had saved our daughter. And now we needed to take the time to prepare. I doubt Colt had much sleep next to Abel. Lavender and I stayed up a while speaking as I looked to her. I could already see some color coming back in her. I decided to tell her of my own little secret, and she promised to keep it and help with it. We were all hoping Abel would be back to his old self, but he did very little healing. But it was just overnight. I suppose it was too much to hope for right away. Firefly had told us that it may take months or years for him to be back to full strength. The morning finally came. Time had passed more slowly than expected for the females of the herd to leave on their journey to the Lion's Kingdom. The few women that had been pregnant had given birth during our time underground. Their new little ones bundled to them slightly too young for a basket. We wanted to be sure they had enough time to get to the kingdom before the winter sat in. A time and date we had given Traveler on when to meet at the gates. Everyone would need time to prepare for this. It wasn't to be taken lightly. Horses neighed with the excitement of a move. Lavender held to Reem's hand as she pulled for Abel, taking his large hand in hers. "Papa, come with us." He knelt down to her. "My little Reem, I must help my brother. But when we are done, I will come home to you. And you can show me all the new wonderful things." Reem was crying. "No, I'll stay." She cried out. Abel slowly knelt to her, smiling softly. "Now didn't I get you that pretty pony of yours? You promised me you would be brave and not cry." He wiped her tears away. Abel took all he could to lift her to a half saddle, something made to hold. Children who wished to ride but was too old for a basket. It was of leather and helped keep them on, as she adjusted her legs to the pony's fat belly. But if they wished, they could also lay back and rest. But the tears still came from her as the pony started off, as he gave it a pat as the herd started its move. "Papa!" She turned back. Calling to him, Lavender climbed on Snow. "Strong one, Abel looked to her. "I know. We have said our words. Let's keep them close till we speak them again. Keep our children safe, my love." Colt walked up to Abel as the horses began to move, holding to Abel's horse, Ginger's reins. "You best get to the lead where you belong, brother." Abel turned slowly to see Colt. "My place is." Colt stopped him, putting his hand on him. "Your place is that with your family. I will not see nor cause your family more hurt." Abel shook his head. "They will be all right till I return." Colt let out a breath. "Not if it is as a box as Ash, and we both know this would be the outcome. I cannot protect you as you try to protect me. You will not be foolish. You cannot handle this, and you know this. The herd must always have a stallion, and I'd prefer it not to be another." Abel looked to Colt. "If I was challenged along the way, I would." Colt smirked. "You would find the strength and win. I have things in place. Now go on. We will see each other again. The kingdom is warm. It will be good to grow you in strength once more. I expect you to do training, and not to get fat on all the food you shall be eating." Abel had no will to fight Colt's words. He somehow found strength to get on his horse. I could hear as he passed Lavender and Reem her squeals of happiness as he rode. Past them, all the newborns and young were put in their baskets and bundles in the center of the herd's movement. I looked to Lavender, who let out a sigh of relief. "It was good you did that for them." Colt sighed. He will be greatly missed in this battle, but it is not one he could fight, and I'm not sure he will ever be at full strength. Again, Colt paused, looking to me. You best be going as well. I looked to Colt. Now you know very well I am staying by you. Colt looked to me somewhat surprised. The children? I had thought on leaving, especially with Sam, but I had shared with only Lavender the importance of it all, and she thought I was right in my doings, so she agreed. She would take care of our children along with hers, and grandmother was going to do what she couldn't. I have it handled. I smiled, not as assured as I hoped that it could be kept a secret in the kingdom of lions, but if anyone could, it would be Lavender. Colt put his arm about me. I am not one to argue with you, kissing my cheek. A few other women had stayed to fight of their own choice. The men were waiting for Colt's commands. We prepare harder than before. The children are gone from here. I wish to hear no complaining. We will train. Rano came up beside Colt. He was now Colt's right hand. Until Abel was back in the picture, Rano snarled. He was more wolf than bronco at times, as everyone was looking to them, get back to training, his voice booming loud enough for the last herd members leaving to turn slightly. Colt looked to him. We leave in 2 months. No later, have them ready. Be hard as you need to save them. Rano nodded as he went toward Timothy. Hey, mule, did I give you permission to sit? Get up. Rano shoved a knife handle in Timothy's hand. From now on, I best never see a hand without a weapon. It stays by you at all times, or it will be with you the way I see fit. As others snickered, he looked to them. This goes for all those with bare hands. The others stopped immediately, picking out a weapon. Rano turned to Colt, as Colt nodded in agreement. Then Colt looked to me. I was thinking perhaps we should let T come up and use our hut, letting the healers stay in Abel's close to her. We can take Abel and Lavender's old hut for the time being. I looked to him. I'm fine with it. Probably will be nicer for her as well. Colt nodded. He looked to one of the women who stayed. Zila, I have special work for you. Yes, my stallion. I'd like for you to help the healers bring T up the longer way, get her prepared in my hut, understand? Zila nodded. Yes, my stallion. Then Colt looked to me. We should probably go train ourselves. It seems Rano has this under control here. I looked to him. What do you have in mind? Colt smiled softly. Just follow me. He called for Diligence, getting on him. He looked to me as I drew up on Atropos. Colt looked Rano's way just with a nod. They understood the others' intentions, then Colt walked off. Diligence. Where were we going? We walked the horses for some time till we grew closer to the area. I always dreaded Atropos slowed as he felt me. Tense, my breathing began to quicken. Colt stopped, Diligence looking to me with a smile. It will be all right, my snow feather, trust me. But my heart was in my throat, everything screamed to not go in the trees. Colt turned, Diligence around, putting himself behind me on Atropos, tightening himself to me, wrapping his arms around mine, coming. Close, he whispered, nothing bad can happen. We are together. He took the reins, though he didn't even need them. Taking us into the woods, I could feel him up against me, and somehow it made it doable. We went all the way in. When we arrived to the old hunting hut, a few new skins were on it. The whole area had been changed. I looked in all directions. Nothing was where it was, the log gone, the trees like nothing happened. He jumped down. Helping me off my legs were feeling weak. He took my hand, leading me into the hut. It was smaller than I remembered, but it had been years. The same smells hit me, the same rug. There was a present wrapped on the table. I looked to him as he went over to it. You never came in that last Christmas. He smiled softly. The memories came flooding back. I couldn't even speak. He looked to me. It's all right. Nothing is around for miles. My eyes keep us from harm. Colt handed me the present. I don't have anything for you. I looked to the wrapping covered in dust. Colt smiled still. This was meant for years ago. You have given me many since. I slowly unwrapped it, my hands cold and numb. I opened the box to see a necklace, a red sphere holding to some of Colt's hair, a small note in the box. I would wish for you to keep this one as your own. Colt looked in the box at the note. I was so young then, my words so young. I looked to him, hugging him around the neck to almost knocking us both down. I think it's sweet. Colt put it on me. Well, whatever did happen to all that other hair I gave you, you never traded it or wore it yourself. I smiled. I couldn't trade it. How would I say I even got it? Amalthea managed a nice amount by sneaking into my hut, taking it off my brush. I rolled my eyes. For your information, I kept it in my pillow and it's still there. Colt looked to me oddly. You never in all these years changed out your pillow? I smiled. Of course I did. I just moved the hair to the new one. Colt touched my chin. With his thumb and pointer, my smart little filly, he kissed my lips softly. I whispered, We can't, I thought you said we would be training. Colt looked to me, his smirk covered him as his eyes were like fire. I said we should probably go train, and this is a form of training. Don't you think? You can help me learn to keep my nanos under control. You can help my endurance. It's safe, I promise you this. I smiled. You've never had problems with that. He took in a deep breath. Do you have any idea how many times I wanted to tear into you? I always held every bit of me together by thinking, after we are married, if she will marry me, I will bring her here, showing her all my love. But then I looked to him, kissing him hard with all the passion I had in me, as he kissed me back. The day and night was one of hard training, and by the end of it, Colt could control the nanos for a good 2 hours straight as we laid next to one another under that old bearskin. Blanket words weren't needed. Colt heard an odd whistle of a bird. It was nearly morning. Colt swiftly stood, placing on his jacket, looking to me. It's all right. It's just a birra. Stay here. I let out a sigh as I began to dress. I'll wait for you here then, I whispered as Colt pulled his hair back.